Hello, viewers. Welcome to our yet another episode of season 3. This is episode 10, and we are waiting for our game week 10. So, FPLMN and I'm here, Sanil Karmacharya, and with me, I have very interesting guest, Jeetendra Jaiswal. Welcome, Jeetendra.
Hello, thank you, Dai. Hello, everyone.
के छ हालखबर सो दसैँको धेरै शुभकामना
Same to you, Dai. एकदम ठिक छ दाइ मेरो त हजुरको पनि हालखबर के छ
ठिकै छ दसैँ भर्खर सकिएको छ त्यस बिचमा एफपिएल खेल्नु पर्ने छ होइन टिम मिलाउनु पर्ने गेम म्याचेसहरू हेर्नुपर्ने फेरि च्याम्पियन्स लिग पनि अहिले नै परेको सो इट्स बिन अ भेरी बिजी पर्सनल लाइफ पनि बिजी भइरहेको छ अनि फुटबल पनि बिजी नै छ है
हजुर दाइ एकदम एकदम त्यस्तै भएको छ यता पनि एकदम यता झन् वेदर अलिकति खराब भएर त्यस्तै नै भइएछ दसैँमा भागदौड
यहाँ पनि पानी परिरहेछ सो इट्स बिन अ कोल्ड चिली समर भन्नु पर्ला अहिले यहाँ चाहिँ
नेपालमा पनि त्यस्तै रहेछ त वेदर त
नेपालमा पनि पानी परिरहेछ अहिले एकदमै विश्वभरि पानी परिरहेछ बट एनिवे टु आवर भ्युअर्स सबैलाई जो हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ हाम्रो सो विजयादशमीको हार्दिक मङ्गलमय शुभकामना छ एन्ड लेट्स होप फर द बेस्ट इन अपकमिङ गेम विक योभन्दा अघिल्लो गेम विक अलरेडी बिग गेम विक भएको छ वी हेभ लट अफ ह्याट्रिक्स टु होइन 4वटा ह्याट्रिक अनि कतिजनाको त टिममा पनि अब 2टा ह्याट्रिक 3टा ह्याट्रिक नै पनि परेको छ सो इट वाज अ बिग गेम विथ अल सो मेनी सेन्चुरियन्स एन्ड बिफोर वी स्टार्ट लेट मी give shout out to our sponsors. So we have our lead partner Inira Diamond, and then hospitality partner Park Safari and Hotel Kaushi, our healthcare partner Mero Doctor, and celebration partner Nitish Sweets and Bakery. So let's begin our show with Jeetendra Jaiswal, who is also known as JJeet in FPL Fantasy Premier League. So Jeetendra, so तिम्रो हल्का हिस्ट्री मैले लिएको छु यो सायद इज दिस यर मेन टिम किनभने 4वटा मात्र सिजन छ
हजुर दाइ 4वटा मात्र सिजन किनभने मैले भर्खर स्टार्ट गरेँ खेल्न अनि सिरियसली त अब यही सिजन मात्रै हो भन्दाखेरि बिचमा अलिकति ब्रेक लिए खेल स्टार्ट गरेँ 18-19 स्टार्ट गर्दा हल्का लेट स्टार्ट गरेको थिएँ 3rd विक 4th विकदेखि बल्ल स्टार्ट भएको थिएँ त्यही भएर
Gameweek 2020 season 2021 you finished in 400k managers. Still that is a very good नै भन्नुपर्छ है भर्खर स्टार्ट गरेर पनि you managed to finish in 400k managers. So अहिलेको यो सिजन चाहिँ कस्तो भइरहेछ how are you getting the result?
यो सिजन चाहिँ आई एम सेटिस्फाइड यो सिजन अलिकति स्टार्टिङदेखि नै सिरियसली नै खेलिरहेको छु पहिला त अब त्यसो अलिअलि जस्ट वाज लर्निङ एन्ड म्यानेजिङ टाइम्स फर वर्क एज वेल एज एफपिएल यो सिजन अलिकति अब टाइम दिएर यसो स्ट्याटहरू हेरेर गर्दैछु सो द्याट होपफुली सो फार इट्स बेटर देन प्रिभियस सिजन्स लेट्स सी हाउ इट एन्ड्स
For sure it's gonna end better than whatever you have in past, so let's see what's happening all around for game week 10 preparation. Game week 10 को लागि चाहिँ अब हाम्रो transfer in and transfer out हेर्ने हो भने quite interesting. Hat-trick heroes Trossard, Foden are there. Haaland त सबैको टिममा अलरेडी भइहाल्छ. So what do you have to say about these transfer in players, managers who are driving into these players? Trossard, Foden especially. Hat-trick हान्ने बित्तिकै सबैजना दौडेको छ. So what do you reckon about these kind of trend भनौँ न?
अब युजुअली वर्ल्डमा जस्तै अब फर्स्टमा हामीले देख्ने बित्तिकै ह्याट्रिक हान्ने बित्तिकै नेक्स्ट विक त्यो एभ्री विक नै हुन्छ हाई स्कोर गर्ने बित्तिकै नेक्स्ट विक सबैले प्राय ल्याइहाल्छन् त्यही भएर गेम ट्रान्सफर इनमा युजुअली हाई हुन्छ तर अहिले जसको फोडेन छैन म चाहिँ भन्छु अहिले फोडेन ल्याइहाल्नु पर्ने अवस्था छैन इफ यु अलरेडी ह्याभ 3 सिटी प्लेयर्स इफ यु डोन्ट देन मेबी यु क्यान थिङ्क अफ द्याट बट अगेन यु अल्सो निड टु किप प्लानिङ फर यर गेम विक 12 एज वेल बिकज द्याट्स ब्ल्याङ्क विक फर सिटी Trossard might be a good option. I think here everybody would want to get Trossard. Maybe people are getting Gross out and getting Trossard in, or maybe some swapping with players from Arsenal. But Trossard might be a good option in London as well.
If especially Trossard and Gross, they are both playing front, and Trossardले ह्याट्रिक हान्यो भन्दैमा नेक्स्ट गेम विकमा चाहिँ ग्रोस बेचेर ट्रोसार्ड ल्याइहाल्ने भन्ने चाहिँ हुन्छ र अर ग्रोस क्यान स्टिल बी अ गुड अप्सन नेक्स्ट गेम होइन दुबईको गेम प्ले हेर्ने भने उस्तै छ अलमोस्ट
म चाहिँ if I were in this and if I had Cross, then I would go ahead with Cross because in terms of monetary value as well, Cross is cheaper than Trossard. So I wouldn't get Trossard yet. Maybe we can watch out again a couple of more weeks before getting in Trossard.
Okay, आज अब थर्सडे भयो, still we have 2 more days to go अनि अब ट्रेन चाहिँ यस्तै छ. Right now Trossard is leading in Gameweek in हैन transfer in. What about transfer out? Arnold हैन, especially you are Liverpool fan. अनि as we can see 3 players in top 5 transfer out, you can see 3 players. What's happening?
Yes, usually like these all 3 players were in premium players since game week 1, and because of the recent form they have been, it's very sad to see they all 3 are featuring in the transfer out. Usually it's very unusual for Liverpool, but again they haven't been scoring. Salah has been not in its prime form, and it's overall team as well. But I still think that Arnold TA would be a good option if we hold to him, because he still plays attacking and he has got chance to score. I think with Arsenal, definitely he would do well. Especially problem with Salah now. Salah is quite expensive, and since he hasn't been scoring, people are going for other better option. And for example, like there are economical options like Madison's, or you go for Zaha, or you can even swap for De Bruyne, considering he's against Southampton and his past record. So people might be selling Salah to get in De Bruyne in, and I can see De Bruyne is also in one of the top 5 transfer in. So
Exactly. This is after couple of seasons, this is the time where we can swap Salah with some other players and then again think about buying Salah later on. This never happened before in past couple of game week season. And what about Mitrovic? Mitrovic our injured to the but still you can wait until Friday or maybe late Saturday to see the news for Mitrovic, isn't it? Is it like
yes,
there's people are going really crazy, or we have to wait?
Yeah, I would say that it's better to wait for Mitrovic because still officially he's not out of the team. Maybe we have to wait until maybe let's say last hour before making decision in Mitrovic, because if Mitrovic is playing, then he has got very high chance of scoring as well. Irrespective of which team he plays against, I think he's always attacking, and he has got shots on target, and even not on target, he has got many shots. So I think Mitrovic is definitely an option to hold on for now. But if he is not playing, then you can think of someone else. But problem is that there might not be too many options if we are going with 2 premium forwards. Now depends on how you're going with the team.
That's true. So if we have to look about the upcoming fixtures, there are very interesting fixtures. If you see the trend I have here with next 4 fixtures, and there's Champions League as well in between. So Arsenal playing against Liverpool, and then they are blanking on Game Week 12. So maybe that's why people are not reluctant to get Arsenal players. अनि त्यसपछि अब यसो हेर्ने हो भने Chelsea have quite a good run of fixtures, हैन? You can also see there is Crystal Palace with decent fixtures. त्यसपछि Liverpool have Arsenal, and then City playing in Game Week 10 and 11. From 12 onwards, maybe we can consider Liverpool, right?
Yes, and I think that's the reason why people might be selling a lot of Liverpool players, because they have got Arsenal, and then immediately they are playing against City. So they might be selling in Salah or Diaz and getting in some other players. And after Game Week 12, definitely Liverpool would be and you will see Liverpool players featuring in again top transfer in.
Very, very crucial moment is coming in upcoming fixtures, because City, most of the team have triple up on City, and City playing against Southampton in Game Week 10. After that, they're playing on Liverpool and then in blank. So it's gonna be tactical game week 12, because most of the team have 3 players from City and a couple of players from Arsenal, so they have to reduce it to 3 players. So what is your pick on that?
I think if you already have 3 City players, then it's not yet, I think you don't have to panic in selling them. But I think if you don't have City players, then I would recommend to go for other options or likewise options, and not bring in City player until Game Week 12 if you are looking for Game Week 12. But a lot of mindset might also be around, okay, let me get City players, get some points in, and I might go negative points in Game Week 12. Since I have already carried out the 10-20 points, so I don't mind getting in -8 in Game Week 12 and so on. And a lot of people would be going for wildcard in Game Week 12 as well.
Exactly. We have to plan better. अनि अब म्यान्युको अस्ति भर्खर डर्बी म्याच पनि सकियो होइन एन्ड देयर वाज लाइक बिग 6-3 द्याट वाज अ बिग स्कोर आफ्टर द्याट यो प्रश्न सायद अब लिभरपुल फ्यानलाई सोध्ने खालिको प्रश्न त होइन बट डु यु सी इभन म्यान्यु इन द लाइक म्यान्यु प्लेयर्स इन द like selection?
Many players not yet. I think based on the form they have been, I think apart from last week with City, I think people were started to consider many players. They started bringing in few players because they were in good form, except they just lost one game and because they won against Arsenal. So people had some high hopes, especially the Manu fans. And suddenly again they went the other way with City, and it's not Manu's fault. I think City has been too good in the whole season.
Yeah.
So again, anything can happen, but I think Manu would definitely bounce back and Manu would play well. I have quite good hopes for Manu. So.
Yeah, as a FPL player, it's hard to take any of the Manu player. But if you see the fixtures, Everton might look green for them, but still Everton is a tough match when you play in home. And then there's Newcastle and Tottenham, Chelsea. Oh my God, I won't get any of the Manu player for now. Newcastle can be one of the interesting team because they have a good form with good attack, return, and then defense as well. But they are playing against Brentford, Man U, Everton, and then Spurs. So maybe Newcastle has a decent fixtures, I would say. And then West Ham is another team who have decent fixtures. Spurs, on the other hand, so many attacking options. So yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about. So let's move on to another slide so that we can check team by team perspective. So we have the Manchester City. Who wouldn't take players from here? So I have 4 players. We have 4 players here, and most of the team have 3 out of 4. Yeah. What about your team? तिम्रो टिममा चाहिँ कति जना छन् त यो 4 जनाबाट?
मेरो टिममा पनि 3 जना छ अहिले. So I don't have foreign, but I have all 3. So from forward to defender. Actually, at some point I also had goalkeeper where I didn't have De Bruyne, but when I sold Salah, I brought in De Bruyne and sold the goalkeeper. So at this stage, I think I'll go with the existing 3. So I won't bring foreign in at this stage. But definitely De Bruyne, I think for game week 10 would be a premium option, and people would go for that because especially his past records against Southampton. And then Haaland this season has been like a default option for everyone. I don't think anybody is ever going to sell Haaland, especially looking at his last 3 game weeks.
He's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Actually, the question here right now, the hot question is like City go fixers game week 12 they have blank, but they are performing really well, and everyone would like to keep triple up on them. Just go triple up usलाई के भन्न चाहन्छु, and just go 3 जना player छैन and who would really love to bring more City player, buy more City player. What would be your take?
Triple up हुनेहरूले अहिले यो गेम विकमा चाहिँ triple up you can go safely with Southampton, and then maybe you can rethink against Liverpool in game week 11 if you want to sell one and then plan for game week 12. But the people who don't have City players or who have just 1 or 2 City players, then you don't have to triple up this week. Maybe go for a likewise option or similar option who has got game week in 12. So for example, go for Liverpool players, I would say. Maybe next week, or go for some other teams like Newcastle is a very good option as well, although their players are not as expensive as City players, so you will have better asset and you can manage that in game week 12. Game week 12 is blank week, so that if you are planning to keep 3 players on bench from City, then you have to manage your assets accordingly as well, so you have to go for a lot like a bargain options.
Exactly. Yeah. And Haaland कसको टिममा Haaland हुन होला, and Haaland is a no-brainer, हैन? We have a lot more to see, and it's gonna be record after record after record. Especially already he have one record who have like कसैले पनि हालेको छैन त्यो record, hat-trick in back-to-back 3 home matches. So yeah, hats off to Haaland. So let's move on to another team. We have Spurs with Kane, Richarlison, and Son, all the like attacking option. We can, as of now, we can say they are good with attacking option, but Kane is premium. So what do you think about Kane and Haaland? Kane and Haaland in same team. Do you reckon that's a good idea at the moment?
Few people might go that. So if they are playing 4-4-2 form, then definitely Kane and Haaland can be an option. But I would not recommend to go with Kane and Haaland this week. Better, I would recommend Kane, especially with his price point he comes in. There are other attacking player or other forwards which can come with lot cheaper price and can give you similar difference and more differential option than Kane as well.
Okay. Do
And
you
Richarlison definitely, yeah.
can you imagine a team where people have sacrificed Haaland for Kane? Is it a good idea?
No, I would not say. Maybe it might be the other way around. So yeah, when we had Kane and then you can sell Kane and bring in Haaland, but Haaland for Kane, I think that person, not sure if that exists, but if that exists, then would be just very sad at this stage and won't be watching, I think, any games.
So what about your take on Richarlison and Son, especially Son being sacrificed with the minutes at the moment? होइन सनले खासै टाइम पाइरहेको छैन मेबी he will starting लाइनअपमा चाहिँ पर्न सक्छ अब चाहिँ बेस्ड अन हिज ह्याट्रिक अन गेमिङ 8
हजुर त्यही त अब सनलाई स्पेसली स्टार्टअप गर्नभन्दा पनि इफ हि इज गोइङ टु स्कोर ह्याट्रिक वेन हि डजन्ट स्टार्ट देन आई थिङ्क इट्स बेटर फर हिम टु कम इन आफ्टर हाफ टाइम एन्ड स्कोर द्याट चान्सेस बट आई थिङ्क हि इज डेफिनेटली गन स्टार्ट हि वुड I don't see him playing full 90 minutes yet, but definitely I think for 60 minutes, 70 minutes. Richarlison can be another good option in forward instead of Kane if we are going to pair with Haaland. And Richarlison has been seen in good form and good attacking form.
So FPL को पर्सपेक्टिभबाट चाहिँ हाम्रो सनको कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि सन क्यान बी वान अफ द प्रिमियम मिडफिल्डर हु इज द अप्सन बिकज नर्मली अब टिममा हेर्ने भने एउटा मात्र प्रिमियम मिडफिल्डर हाल्न सक्ने अवस्था छ अहिले होइन बिकज एभ्री वान गोज विथ हालान्ड एन्ड एभ्री वान हेभ जिजस अर वान अफ द अदर एभरेज स्ट्राइकर सो what about preferring Son instead of De Bruyne or Sterling or whoever we have the premium midfielder त्यो premium midfielder को bracket मा चाहिँ Son हाल्नु कतिको बुद्धिपूर्ण काम कुरा हुन्छ अहिलेको लागि
अहिलेको लागि अब अहिले गेम विक नेक्स्ट 3 to 4 गेम विक्स हेर्ने हो भने त सन डेफिनेटली सालाको रिप्लेसमेन्ट हुन सक्छ बट आई थिङ्क इफ यु आर जस्ट प्लानिङ फर नेक्स्ट गेम विक मात्रै हेर्ने भयो त डी ब्रुइन होला बढी अप्सन तर इफ यु वान्ट टु ब्रिङ सन यु हेभ अप्सन अफ रिप्लेसिङ डी ब्रुइन विथ फोडेन and then bring Son as a premium option, Foden as an average option, whereas Foden can give is equally attacking as De Bruyne and he can give a big box for your bank. So definitely Son, I would consider Son as one of the midfielder option if compared against De Bruyne, Salah and Son.
Okay. So हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ all these three assets, though they are playing really well, though they have good form, but they are more like differential option, right?
Yes.
You won't directly go to them, but if you want to play differential, then maybe you can target these options.
Yeah, especially last 2 seasons, top players have always been considered as a differential option, not as a go-to option.
Yep. All right, so that's all about Spurs, and they are playing against Brighton at the moment.
Yes, so since Brighton have got good defense and they have also good attack, again, can't say who will score. So definitely let's see how it plays around.
Okay, we'll discuss more about Brighton again in another slide. So let's move on to Chelsea. Chelsea with some must go त भन्दिनँ अहिले. As a Chelsea fan also, I won't really recommend Chelsea asset at the moment, but you have some के भन्ने अब watch list औबा हुन सक्छ स्टोरी हुन सक्छ because the way new manager started Chelsea match Auba and Sterling really playing high and then James is also playing his own game last game week man देखियो Auba scored and James is also in there even Champions League मा पनि आज Auba score गरेछ and James also took I think James ले पनि एउटा assist त दिएको थियो के आज
हजुर
So yeah, what is your take on this? Again, here are some premium midfielders, striker and defender. Would you really go for Chelsea at the moment?
Yes, definitely. What I'm leaning towards is definitely James is always in my team, and I think it's at this stage James will have to hold on with James because he provides that attacking option, and especially he is that midfielder attacking, although he is treated as defender in Premier League. FPL. And then with because in last 2 game weeks he has played well, he's getting his touch back, especially he enjoys playing in Premier League and he loves scoring in Premier League, so he's getting that touch back. And soon I think in next couple of weeks he would be in one of those top scoring player. So I would definitely keep Auba in watch list. If not, you can already bring Auba this week because they have good fixtures in coming 3 weeks, especially playing Wolves, and Wolves playing very scratchy these days. And Sterling, at this stage, I would say, you can keep in watch list, but not time to bring in yet.
Yep. All right, so that's all about Chelsea. So let's move on to Arsenal. So Arsenal एकदमै अब अहिलेको सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ बिस्तारै अब फेज आउट हुनुपर्छ बिकज अफ गेम विक 12 होइन सिटी प्लेयर अलरेडी छ त्यहाँ एन्ड वी क्यान ओन्ली किप 3 प्लेयर्स इन बेन्च सो we have to sacrifice Arsenal's asset भन्नु पर्यो. So Jesus and Martinelli, what do you have to say about them?
Both I think are better options. Both have
They're
been
playing against
really
Liverpool.
Good. They are playing against Liverpool, so that I think it's very tough game week for them. And Liverpool, especially, they considering their past game weeks, they would want to come back and they would want to score against Liverpool and get 3 points on their side. So tough game for Arsenal for sure. But Martinelli, I think a lot of people would have already sold Jesus last week. If they haven't, then they can. I would say if you haven't sold Jesus, then maybe you can go ahead with Jesus. If there is a goal scored, then I think Jesus would be part of it.
Yep.
This game week. And Martinelli, yes, keeps a very good option in that 6.5, 6.6 million range, which is not very expensive, but gives you the points as a premium player. So Martinelli, if you have, hold on to it. If you don't, then you don't need to bring it yet. Maybe consider after game week 12 again.
Yeah, exactly. We have to repeat that again, especially with Man City and Arsenal. If you have those assets, hold it for this game week. If you don't have, then rather don't buy them.
Yes.
त्यही भन्नु पर्यो अहिलेको अवस्थामा चाहिँ. And here you go, Liverpool बाट अब को रेकमेन्ड गर्ने already we have already seen हैन ट्रान्सफर आउट को प्ले टिम लिस्टमा already you have Salah, Diaz and Arnold, but still if somebody is holding Salah or Diaz, what do you have to say about those managers? Should they sell them or maybe hold it for now?
I think if you have 3 players, then I think it might not be a good option to go with all 3 players, but definitely you need at least 1 or 2 players. And people, if we are holding with TAA, then hold on. And especially talking to about Salah and Diaz, then both provides, I think, similar option, although there is a big difference in price point, but both have got similar attacking stats as we're looking at this year. Salah has only got 2 goals and Diaz has 3 goals. So I think people might be leaning towards Diaz more, but I think Salah would be wanting to bounce back. Especially he loves scoring in Premier League, and this season he has been just out of the form. So maybe it's the gameplay, and especially Darwin Núñez coming from forward. So if Darwin Núñez is out, then definitely Salah would be the person to score goals.
Okay, so यो चाहिँ एउटा सोध्नु मन लाग्यो, since you are already a Liverpool fan, you must have watching Liverpool in a way we are not watching them. And game play नै हेर्दाखेरि पनि अब Salah, who used to go a lot of occasion, he used to go inside that small D-box area. But this season we have seen him being a little bit outside and then giving more chance to striker like even Firmino and Núñez. यो कारणले कस्तो छ अब कोचको mentality चाहिँ कस्तो छ यो season? Is he going to continue that and then try to push more forward rather than Salah or Diaz from the sideline?
अहिले हेर्दा त अब लास्ट 9 गेम विक्स उनीहरूको 8 गेम भयो क्यारे 7 गेम भयो क्यारे यिनीहरूको युजुअली पोइन्ट्स आइरहेको छैन. दे हेभ चेन्ज देयर स्ट्राटेजी, बट दे हेभन्ट गट द पोइन्ट्स अन देयर साइड. सो दे माइट गो टु देयर ओल्ड फर्म एन्ड से ओके Salah, play your game instead of just holding back and giving chance to you. So if that is going to happen, then Salah would again be back to form, and you would see him in one of the top scoring range definitely. And I'm hoping that happens soon, because Liverpool being that premium team, and especially their team hasn't changed a lot. They have actually got quite good players. So hoping they can bounce back and we can see them in the top 3, top 4 range. So.
Okay, so do you reckon that's going to happen really soon? Do you reckon that's going to happen really soon? Is it really that easy to just switch the strategy and come back to the form that they have last season?
Yeah, I think they have had quite good break, and I'm hoping they would bounce back and again play well against Arsenal, and I'm hoping they would even win against Arsenal.
because I'm really a big fan of Salah, and then I really don't want to sell Salah,
Yeah,
even though I have already sold him, and I'm really keen to buy him for Gameweek 12. So
yeah.
I want Liverpool to play like they have been playing last season. So hopefully they will change their strategy, and maybe Salah is more forward, because एकदमै अब दुःखपूर्ण नै छ कि अब 9 गोल हान्दाखेरि पनि साला not involved in even
Also,
single goal. अस्ति 3 गोल हान्दा पनि involved in only 1 goal. So
one goal.
that stat is really hard to believe. So let's see what will happen हैन. अब यो सालाको र डियाजको केसमा चाहिँ यदि छ भने पक्कै पनि अझै पनि होल्डै गरौँ, किनभने still you have to use them in Gameweek 12 हैन. छैन भने चाहिँ किन्ने चाहिँ होइन यो गेम विक
अहिले यो गेम विक अब नेक्स्ट गेम विक कपल अफ गेम विकसम्म पनि अहिले स्पेसली यो गेम विकको लागि चाहिँ किन्नु भएन.
सो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा चाहिँ के छ यहाँ होइन, हामी सबै अब टप टिमहरू कुरा गरेँ, म्यानीको त हामीले कुरै गरेनौँ, अनि त्यसपछि अब लिभरपुलमा पनि हामी के भन्छौँ छ भने राखौँ नत्र नकिनौँ होइन. चेल्सीमा पनि हामीले त्यही भन्यौँ, आर्सनलमा त्यही भन्यौँ होइन, सिटीमा पनि त्यही भन्यौँ. सो वी आर अल लेफ्ट विथ अल दोज मिड टेबल टिम होइन. सो होल मार्केट एभ्री वान इज eyeing on those other assets, which are already in the market, cheap prices. So let's move on to other teams. And here we have, first one is Brighton, hat-trick hero Trossard, and then Gross is there, Welbeck is forward. So these three players are playing really well. What do you reckon? What is your take on these?
Yeah, definitely. Gross, I think, have been in good form and good touch since I think start of the season, and I think almost a lot of players already have got Gross. Trossard, especially scoring hat-trick in last game week, has given him that bounce back, and people have started bringing him in. But Trossard and Gross both provide similar options, so yeah, again, never know. Gross might be scoring another hat-trick next week, so or coming week. So both I think would be the same. Again, Gross being a cheaper, I would say if you are managing your asset or if you are struggling to get some premium player because you already have Trossard, then you might get Gross in and get some other premium players. Welbeck definitely is a bargain for a forward, but I think especially from the gameplay which Brighton plays, they have got a midfielder scoring, and especially Trossard and Gross coming from both sides. They are bargain, and even when you say average or bargain, but I would say they are bargain, and we have to go. And if anybody is planning to go for premium players, then go for Trossard and Gross and get other premium players and save that money for. You might spend big on goalkeepers, or you can have Haaland and Kane if you want to plan that way. But again, still it's quite tough. But get Haaland and Kane, but Trossard and Gross definitely must have. At least one definitely must have. But if you can, then get both.
All right, so we have another team. Leicester with a very good run of fixture and no Champions League, so good, they're gonna get good rest, one match at a time. So we have Vardy, Maddison. Maddison is the man at the moment who is in a great form and great fixtures ahead. What do you have to say? Maddison, is he the must-have in a team?
Definitely, looking at their fixtures, I think he is must-have, and a lot of people would also be going for as a captain option for Maddison if possible. But definitely, you can see they are playing against Bournemouth, I believe.
They're playing against Bournemouth away, and then Crystal Palace, Leeds, and Wolves.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the next 4 weeks are definitely looking very great, especially, and you won't be looking to selling Maddison if you already have. If you don't have, then I would recommend to bring him in as a other option, like as a likewise. For example, if you have Bowen, then you might hold. But if you don't have Maddison, then it might be a good time to swap Bowen against Maddison.
All right. What about Ward? अब अस्तिको गेम भन्दा अगाडिसम्म त जस्तो पनि गोल खाने, he's getting like a lot of goals, even if you can see in one of the matches he was vulnerable, completely vulnerable. But last game he had a clean sheet. Now is he again goalkeeper to watch?
Yes, I think Leicester has been in bad form this whole so far until last week or last 2 weeks. And that's why they were at some point at the bottom of the table for, I think, until game week 5.
Yeah.
And now I think they are in good form. Their midfielders and defenders have started playing well. They have started attacking. So Ward would definitely be relieved for now, since less ball coming towards him. And now I think looking at his last 2 weeks, Ward might be a bargain, especially in his price point. He might definitely go for a clean sheet for next couple of weeks, or maybe next 4 weeks if they play well. So
this is,
I would go for Ward. I think definitely I'm more leaning towards Ward as my keeper.
this is the beauty of Premier League. We are talking about the team which is currently in 19th position, and we're talking about 3 options from them. Whereas we are talking about like big 6 teams, we are saying don't buy, and then we are going
Yes.
to mid-table players. It is what it is. Premier League all त्यस्तै छ. All the average प्रिमियम प्लेयरले भन्दा एभरेज मिडफिल्डर्सहरूले चाहिँ अहिले एकदमै रिटर्न दिइरहेको छ होइन. So let's move on to another team where we have Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, based on the fixtures they have, Zaha is a must-have figure at the moment, and then we have heard a lot of about the Gui and Guita in terms of defense, because Crystal Palace is playing against Leeds next game week, who are already vulnerable in defense. सबभन्दा बेसी गोल खाने नै लिड्स हो क्या अहिले होइन. What is your take? Triple up on Crystal Palace?
Triple up the bandina, but definitely go for Zaha. Similar to must-have player as Madison, you must have at this stage. Zaha is must-have.
Yeah.
So go ahead for Zaha, but defender Gui against Leeds, not sure. See, it can happen. We have got Bamford back, so they can score now. They have got a scorer, and they might not go for clean sheet. Quite yes, being a bargain. Can think of, but yeah, you have to think between Ward and Guaita. I would still choose Ward, but Zaha definitely a go-to player, and I would consider bringing him in.
Okay, yeah, Zaha is in the big, really good form. अनि अहिलेको केसमा यदि कसैले अब मार्टिनेली अथवा मार्टिनेली स्वाप गर्न चाहन्छ भने Zaha could be one of the option, होइन?
Yeah, absolutely, and especially he priced that attacking option as well. So.
Yep. So that's all about Crystal Palace, and we have Newcastle, another team with a lot of potential asset, but at the moment we have Wilson and Trippier. Wilson because Isak is injured now and somebody is looking after his replacement. Then Wilson could be one of the options, isn't it?
Yes, Wilson has 4 appearances this season and he has scored as well. So definitely Isak being out because of injury, Wilson provides that attacking option. And when Isak comes back in as well, I think Wilson still, if he plays, that he would get more chances of scoring than Isak. I think the team which I am most impressed with this season, especially in that bottom or mid-tier, is Newcastle. It is the way they have been playing and they have started growing, and they might surprise at some point, maybe not this season, but next season, similar to Leicester surprised in 16-17. So
yeah, it's more to come because of the honor they have, and the potential that's high. There can be big 6 but a big 7 or something pretty soon.
Definitely.
So that's all about Newcastle, and I think that's all about our team, all the team reviews, and now we have captain options. So captain choice is my Haaland, undisputed all-time favorite, no-brainer, and then we have De Bruyne, Kane, and Madison. Who are you up to? Timro चाहिँ के छ त जितेन्द्रको चाहिँ के कुन छ choice?
Haaland, mostly people would be going for Haaland. So Mero, because it's against Southampton, I'm going towards De Bruyne. But I think safer De Bruyne would be a differential, as well as just looking at his past form. But especially if you are looking for a safer bet, then definitely Haaland. He would have at least 6 points or 8 points to double up. So you would not regret having Haaland as a captain. But definitely it would be a City player.
So Kane and Madison only if you want to go differential, right? Way differential.
Yeah, way differential. Madison definitely considering they are against Bournemouth, especially with Brighton. Kane might not be this game week. Madison definitely can be considered. All
right. So that's the deck on captain, and that brings us to the end of our first section, and we are exclusively presented by Inira Diamond, and we have Mero Doctor, Hotel Kaushi, Park Safari, and Nitish Suites as well as our partner. So let's move on to our next section, where we talk about the Wildcard Tour, and this is the tour presented to you by hospitality partner Park Safari and Hotel Kaushi. So let's have a tour with your Wildcard team. And we have James, Trippier, and Mings, and Zaha, De Bruyne, Madison, Foden, Auba, Haaland, and Edward. यसो विचार गर्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ now we are going with 3 defenders, where we used to go हैन top notch defender सँग सुरु गर्थ्यौं हामीले यो सिजन सुरु गर्दा पनि. Now premium defenders are really not performing as per the price. So looks like तिमी पनि त्यही ट्रेन्डमा छौ.
हजुर
We have
एकदम
only 6
किनभने
centers. Yeah, so
TAA Robertson usually go to option हुन्थ्यो, especially first game week मा म पनि त्यस्तै गरेको थिएँ, but now again as you said, because they have been not performing well, so we go with 3-4-3 or we might go 4-4-2, but in that case again you won't have that premium defending option except James so far, or you might consider getting Cancelo if you are looking to play around with City players. But yeah, City hasn't produced so many clean sheets as we have expected this season.
yeah,
But they have scored a lot from midfield and forward. So I think the safer way would be to go ahead with 3 forwards, like midfielder and forwards from City, and go with the defending option. And especially in defending options like Tyrone Mings or Castagne, they provide very economical option. They come at a price range of 4.4 and 4.3, where you can save money for your midfielders and you can play around.
Yep. अनि अब यहाँ भन्नुपर्दा चाहिँ अब जस्तै मिङ्स ट्रिपियर त अब भइहाल्यो, त्यसपछि जेम्स स्टिल देयर इज अ one premium defender हैन. What is your take on this team? Is it good enough until Gameweek 16? Because Gameweek 16 पछि World Cup हुन्छ and we will have one more like unlimited free transfer हैन. Targeting Gameweek 16, is this team going to be fair enough?
Yes, I think City, especially considering the blank game week for game week 12, especially City, if we have that until game week 12, if you go with this team, you will have 2 transfers. So you can always swap De Bruyne with someone else in the midfield and bench Haaland and Foden in game week 12 and get someone in playing 11. But overall, I think definitely this would be a safer for until game week 16 to play. Again, Mings might not be good for all weeks, but yeah, you can always swap against Castagne and Mings, because Castagne also provides one of the good defending option, especially the game week they have. Edouard has been in form, has now started gaining his form for last 2 weeks, and the only concern for Edouard might be his game time. But I believe since last week he played over 80 minutes, he might get game time as well. Aubameyang, considering Chelsea's fixture, as we talked about Chelsea a lot, so he might be getting in form, so he might be a premium option. Maybe you can think of Jesus later on. We can swap, because definitely Jesus is cheaper than Auba, so it's always a swapping option. But yeah, I think it will be safer until Game Week 16 definitely to just swap around players and manage their team accordingly.
Okay, yeah, we can plan better with this team, and there are already a lot of questions arising based on the team. Let me take a few of the questions from here. I've already got one question from Sabine, and he has a question: why not Arsenal players in your wildcard team?
Yes, that's a very good question. Actually, initially I had Martinelli in my wildcard team, and I also had Jesus, but I thought maybe considering game week 12, so let's plan considering their next game week as well. Jesus might not be a good option for next game week, so had swapped with Auba and brought in Saha instead of Martinelli. But Martinelli still is a good option if you want to consider as a wild card, but we can always swap.
And I think you might have already answered this question. For differential, is Edward the player to go for from Palace?
Yes, I would say, and Eduardo definitely would provide the differential option this game week, and especially he has started getting that form, and if he can even score a couple of goals, I think he is a differential player to go ahead with.
And there's another question from Toran again. Game week 12 is coming, so premium at the back coming soon?
If I understand the question correctly, so maybe premium at the back, we can consider bringing in TAA if that's the option, because I still think and hope that TAA might score, and he especially provides that attacking option, and he's no different than having a forward in your team.
Even अझै अब च्याम्पियन्स लिगमा पनि हिजो लिभरपुलमा अब सालाले पेनाल्टीमा स्कोर गर्यो, and then TA scored in free kick. So they were both in score sheet, but it came from set piece.
Yes.
So there's always option when you have such a player with good potential in set piece as well.
Yes, and I'm hoping that their price range would go down, especially they are now featuring in the top transfer out. So slightly their price might go down, and it might be a good option to bring them in there.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to another slide, and we have team checkup, and which is your team. So Jeetendra team based on game week 9. So where you have scored, you have Captain Haaland, and that's where 46 points is coming from. There's another player, Madison. So pretty much this was a fair enough game week with 96 points, as I think.
Yes, I think 92 points. I think I got
92
from
points.
my playing. Yeah, and because only thing I didn't do here was getting Ward in my playing 11 and got
Yeah.
Pop in. So, which I was thinking, and I said Ward might provide that differential option, especially in that bargain range. So overall, I think I was satisfied with him. I was just not satisfied with Kate. I thought he might be a differential player. I have hold him for 3 weeks, but he hasn't provided. Yeah, he might come and provide some time, but I think yes. If I am changing someone this week, then I would change Paqueta. But yeah, overall, I'm satisfied.
Okay. But yeah, it's the way you play, isn't it? एकजना player चाहिँ at least differential हाल्नु पर्यो, so that if he scores, then you can jump lot of green arrows in the meantime, right?
In the meantime, you have to take risk anyway, so you can't go with the same players what others have if you want to go ahead. And sometimes it backfires, but yeah, that's the way I play usually.
So this game week, probably you only gonna swap Paqueta.
Yes, I'm thinking so.
Okay, yeah, balance देखिन्छ. You have 3 City players, 1 Martinelli, and then Madison is already there. Trippier, James. Still, it's a fairly very good team for game week 10 to start with. So that's the team checkup of Jeetendra, and that's brought to you by Mero Doctor, which is healthcare partner. So let's move on to another slide where we talk about our free league. So हाम्रो free league FPL Manager Nepal Open League मा चाहिँ अहिलेको अवस्थामा गेम विक 9 सकिँदाखेरि Sandeep Sapkota is leading the line with 601 points. 601.
Yeah.
It's already huge. 600 point in just 9 game week. त्यसमा नि एउटा गेम विक त हुँदै भएन हैन. So we should say 8 वटा गेम विकमा 600 points. Yeah, that's a huge, right? And then there's October rank. October rank मा एउटा गेम विक सकिएको छ, and there's already Bobin Farajuri at first with 129 points. So best of luck to both of you guys, and hopefully October मा चाहिँ अब बबिनले नै जित्नेछ. So keep playing, guys, and thank you for participating in Free League. And let's move on to our FPLMN Championship Insight. So this is our team championship. Me, myself, I'm in Aussie Avenger, and Jeetendra is also my fellow Aussie Avenger. हाम्रो दर्शकहरूलाई थाहा नहुन सक्छ, we are also playing our close league where we have 180 managers, and they are all divided into 12 team with 15 managers each. We both are in same team. Aussie Avenger, who is leading at the moment League 2. We are leading with only the point difference, and there is Himalayan Knights chasing us with 1 game less, and then Melbourne Southsiders, Municipal Lake, Soimbu Thunders, and Nepal Royal Vikings at the bottom. They haven't won any matches yet. And in League 1, MTN, Mers Titan is leading the line with 3 out of 3. And then there is Kathmandu Gladiators, Capital Patriots, Kantibu Pirates, Soul Supremo, and Devil's Dawn at the bottom with 3 loss and 1 win. So Jeetendra, कस्तो भइरहेछ त team battle?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think your team battle आफ्नो पर्सनल स्कोर छँदैछ, स्पेशली टिममा प्ले गर्दा पनि एकदमै डिफ्रेन्ट खालको एक्सपिरियन्स, because you have to plan not only for your personal points but also for the overall team points as well. So I think working in a team is always challenging, and if you start enjoying it, you'll start having fun. Sometimes you want to use certain chip which you can't use, and you have to play around and wait for the team, because we have to make the differential. And sometimes I have taken that hit as well and brought in some players, especially just to make sure that the team has some differential players in it. And in some game week it has definitely played well and has worked. So definitely enjoying and loving this team thing. And I think so far Aussie Avengers are doing good, but I think SK and Himalayan Knights are chasing us, which I think not sure if we should be concerned at this stage, but so far 3 in a row, and hopefully we can continue this until, let's say, whenever we can.
Yeah, exactly. Himalayan Knights, they have one less game to play, and currently we are leading, but it's really not safe as it is.
Yes.
So yeah, we will play together. We'll make a lot of strategy, which we can't discuss in public at the moment. होइन
Yes,
हाम्रो प्राइभेटमा
definitely.
त गफ हुने नै छ and we'll make good strategy. Our next game चाहिँ our Game Week 12 मा छ. So that is going to be very interesting because we have to make some good plan, है.
एकदम
All
गेम विक
right,
12 को
Jitendra.
लागि अब प्रिपेयर गर्नुपर्छ.
Yeah. So that brings us to our last slide of our live session, and this is the end of episode 10, which is exclusively brought to you by Inira Diamond and Mero Doctor, Hotel Kaushi, Park Safari, and Nitish Bakery and Sweets are our partners. कस्तो भयो लाइभ पहिला सुरु त जितेन्द्र?
आई थिङ्क ओभरअल एकदमै राम्रो. एकदम फर्स्ट टाइम लाइभ हो मेरो यो FPL म्यानेजरको. सो गुड एक्सपिरियन्स. सोचेको भन्दा त अब राम्रै भयो भन्छ.
कतिको त्यो हुन्छ नि फुटबलको बारेमा कुरा गर्न मन लागिरहेको हुन्छ, साथीहरूसँग कुरा गरेर हुन्छ होइन. And we talk a lot about the players and then game and then a lot of frustration, a lot of excitement होइन. त्यस्तो चिजहरू चाहिँ अब सेयर गर्नु पाउँदाखेरि लाइभमा चाहिँ कस्तो महसुस भयो आज?
आई थिङ्क ओभरअल त्यही नर्मल्ली कुरा गरिरहेकै कुरा नै हो. स्पेसली सबैलाई सेयर गर्दा क्वेसनहरू आउँदाखेरि ओके हामीलाई पनि डिफ्रेन्ट पर्सपेक्टिभ आउँछ. जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल वाइ नट आर्सेनल प्लेयर्स, वाइ यसको बारेमा के हो. सो there are a lot of people thinking the same way as you are thinking, and there at the same time there are people thinking differently as well, which gives you that space to think differently and go and plan for your own game week. And I hope whatever we have discussed would have given different people different perspective as well, looking at different team. And then okay, a lot of people might not have considered any player or might only be going for premium players. Usually when I started the season, I was of that type. I usually go for premium players and not look at other options because it depends on how you play. So now hopefully with the discussion and especially we look at the players to watch, so people would have gotten that perspective, saying okay, there are a lot of not only premium players but budget players which we can get big bucks for if we plan accordingly.
So how good it is because तिमीले भनिहाल्यौ होइन, you started after very late. भर्खर अब 4th season हुँदैछ, 5th season हुँदैछ, and you started after you came to abroad होइन, अस्ट्रेलिया. सो यसले कतिको डिफरेन्स ल्याएको छ तिम्रो भनौँ न अब पर्सनल लाइफमा अथवा प्रोफेसनल लाइफमा पनि, टु मेक डिसिजन, टु नट बी रियली प्यानिक विथ वाट ह्यापन्स होइन, अनफोर्सिन इभेन्ट्स. कतिको हेल्प गरेको छ फ्यान्टासीले बिकज देयर आर लट अफ इभेन्ट्स वेयर यु गेट भेरी एक्साइटेड, देयर आर लट अफ इभेन्ट्स वेयर यु गेट भेरी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड. त्यस्तो बेला अब डिसिसन लिनुपर्छ होइन. फ्यान्टासीले कतिको हेल्प गरेको छ यस्तो कुराहरूमा, यसलाई यस्तो कुराहरू फेस गर्नलाई?
एक्चुअली टिम इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा वर्क प्लेसमा पनि कहिलेकाहीँ हामीले टिम इन्भाइरोमेन्टमै डिसिसन लिनुपर्ने हुन्छ. लट अफ टाइम हामीले प्लान गरेको कुरा चाहिँ वर्कआउट गर्दैन. बट कहिलेकाहीँ हामीले म चाहिँ युजली त्यो रिफर गर्छु वेन आई वाज नट डुइङ वेल इन FPL and suddenly for some game week I got that bounce back. So it's never too late as long as you are just in there and playing and planning around. So irrespective of the results, as long as you are happy with the way you are planning and you are doing your work, results त अब कहिलेकाहीँ लकमा पनि डिपेन्ड गर्छ, रिसर्चले मात्रै काम गर्दैन. त्यही भएर डिपेन्ड्स अन प्लेयर्स एज वेल. एक्चुअली यु आर ओन्ली म्यानेजिङ द टिम, यु आर नट प्लेइङ देयर. सो हाम्रो कन्ट्रोलमा खासै धेरै चाहिँ हुँदैन एज लङ हामीले प्लेयरहरू मात्रै राख्ने हो. तर ओभरअल पर्सनल लाइफमा अब प्रोफेसनल लाइफमा एकदमै हेल्प गर्छ प्लानिङ गर्नलाई. स्पेसली लुक एट द फ्रम अल एङ्गल्स, नट ओन्ली लुक एट द glittering lights, but there are other things behind it as well which might be supporting that. So त्यसले चाहिँ हेल्प हुन्छ. अनि स्पेसली अब यो FPL खेल्न थालेपछि चाहिँ प्रिमियर लिग फुल्ली फलो गर्न थालिन्छ. स्पेसली यो मिड टायर बटम टायर टिमको प्लेयरहरू थाहा हुन्छ, स्पिकरले सुनेको मात्रै होइन, गेमहरू हेर्न मन लाग्छ. स्पेसली इभन इट्स टाइमिङ वाइज अस्ट्रेलियाबाट हेर्दा अलिकति फ्रेन्डली हुँदैन मोस्ट अफ द गेम विक, बट स्टिल विकेन्डमा परेछ भने हामी हेर्न खोज्छौँ त्यो कस्तो हुन्छ प्लान गर्नलाई रातभर नसुतिन्छ पनि. त्यही भएर ओभरअल आई थिङ्क एउटा टकिङ पोइन्ट्स पनि दिन्छ प्रोफेसनल लाइफमा. यो प्लेयरले यस्तो गरिरहेको छ, यो टिमले यस्तो गर्छ भन्ने चाहिँ एउटा एज कन्भर्सेसन स्टार्टर पनि हुन्छ.
Very good insight. Thanks for that, Jiten. Really helpful. यसले पनि बताउँछ why FPL is more than just football होइन, just a fantasy. So एन्ड गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि लास्ट क्वेसन जितेन्द्रको लागि, what do you recommend to the players, managers who are opting for भनौँ न गेम विक 16 सम्म हो अहिले सोच्नुपर्ने होइन, let me repeat this again. Game week 16 पछि चाहिँ we have World Cup, अनि त्यसपछि there will be unlimited transfer. So all we have to think is up to game week 16 होइन. So what is your strategy भनौँ न, अघिसम्म पुरै अब कुरा त गरिसक्यौँ, but to the जेस्टमा कुरा गर्दाखेरि what will be a strategy up to game week 16?
अब स्ट्राटेजी जस्तै स्पेसली फर द म्यानेजर्स जसले वाइल्ड कार्ड युज गरिसक्नु भएको छ, उहाँहरूले त अब युजली सोचेरै ल्याउनु भएको होला। र अहिले टिम हेर्दै गर्दाखेरि गेम विक 12 को लागि मेन सोच्नुपर्ने अवस्था आएको छ। गेम विक 12 हेरेपछि युजली यु क्यान गो सेफर विथ सिटी। लिभरपुलको फिक्चर्स पनि गेम विक 12 पछि एकदम राम्रो छ, सो यु क्यान गो अहेड विथ द्याट एन्ड देन अल द मिड टायर टिम्स स्पेसली ब्राइटन एन्ड न्युक्यासल। अनि अहिले लेस्टरले पनि राम्रो गर्दाखेरि लेस्टरको प्लेयरहरू ल्याउँदाखेरि गेम विक 16 सबै सेफर नै हुन्छ। जसले अब वाइल्ड कार्ड युज गर्नु भएको छैन एन्ड इफ यु आर थिङ्किङ अफ युजिङ वाइल्ड कार्ड देन होपफुली मेबी यु क्यान युज इन गेम विक 11 or गेम विक 12 मा युज गर्दा हुन्छ। वेन यु क्यान गो फ्रिली विथ city players until game week 11 and then use wildcard in game week 12, then you have 4 game weeks to plan for, which is pretty easier compared to 6 weeks. And then after 16 weeks you are again free. So
all right, so that's the strategy, pretty much straightforward हैन। यो game week 12 मा अलिकति ट्विस्ट आइदियो because City र Arsenalको म्याच चाहिँ क्यान्सल भयो हैन, otherwise it was pretty straightforward. So anyway, that's FPL. त्यस्तो कोभिडको बेलामा त्यत्रो म्याचहरु क्यान्सल हुँदा त we survived हैन last 2 years. So now it's just like normal हैन, हामीलाई गेम क्यान्सल भयो भने खासै त्यस्तो प्रब्लम लाग्दैन। So every time there is a twist and turn in FPL, and that's why it is fantasy and we're all loving it. So best of luck.
And the good thing is that a lot of mid-tier and smaller tier teams players are playing well. So you always have that even bench option like Andreas, who is your budget player, can come and then fire sometime even when your premium player is on the bench.
मैले त्यही हो, मैले खेलेको नि लगभग अब 2010 देखि खेलेको मैले पनि हैन। लास्ट 12 इयर्सको हिस्ट्रीमा मलाई खासै यादै छैन कि त्यो 15 जना प्लेयर खेलाउन यति सजिलो हैन यसपालि जस्तो त्यो खासै पहिला थिएन, किनभने एभ्री टाइम दे वर प्रिमियम प्लेयर्स विच वी निड टु कन्सिडर हैन। अहिले मात्र यस्तो टाइम छ जतिखेर हामीले भर्खरै फुल सोमा हामीले कुरा गर्दा नि कुरा गऱ्यौँ हैन। all those top notch team हैन, 6 टिमबाट चाहिँ हामीले अहिले कन्सिडर नगरौँ, अहिले नकिनौँ भन्दै हिँड्यौँ हैन। And then we are more reluctant to those mid-table players who are really performing well and they have a lot of good assets. So this is kind of like, that's why English Premier League is so competitive and that's why we enjoy watching the FPL Premier League.
Ekdam. That's I think, and I think people will enjoy it. So there is no one winner here. Even you have got different players, still you would be scoring the same point, and you always have that option of having the 15 players in your in your team who are playing, and you can always swipe around. So.
Okay, yeah, that's bring us to the end of the show, and thank you, Jiten, for giving us your valuable time. यस्तो अब फेस्टिभ मोमेन्टमा पनि टाइम दिएकोमा I'm really appreciate your help, right? So brother,
thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
And kehi last words छ भने, yeah, before we wrap up the show.
I think last word, I think for everyone, I would just say that keep enjoying the game and keep supporting FPL, I think, and especially supporting this channel. Who hasn't subscribed, please do subscribe and do post your questions. I think someone from our team would definitely reach out if you have any confusion, and do watch the shows. Let's support whatever the local team and as a team, FPL team have been doing. It's not an easy work. So I think well done to the team, especially the FPL organizing team as well, and organizing these shows. Maybe especially even if you have less viewers in live, but people watch this later as well. Not full show maybe, but at some clips, especially looking at certain sections which might be of interest, which is definitely I would say booster in top of whatever we have been doing. So.
Yeah. Thanks for your word, and you are there. That's why we are here, and we are trying to build up the community, Nepali community in Fantasy Premier League, and we are standing up as a like के भन्ने अब एउटा प्लेटफर्म दिन खोजेको मात्र हो, and hopefully यस्तो धेरै प्लेटफर्महरु आउनेछन्, and our players will be there to हुन्छ नेपालको फ्ल्याग चाहिँ अब त्यहाँ हाम्रो लिस्टमा चाहिँ टप 10 वर्ल्डको टप 10 र्याङ्कमा नेपालको फ्ल्यागहरु देख्न पाइयोस्. So that's what we dream for.
Yeah, see you everyone. Thank you. Thanks Sanil for your opportunity, and have a good night, I must say to you.
See ya.